and welcome to day 5 of self-isolation. I had a brilliant wake-up call this morning by being woken up by Penny vomiting all over the house. So I'm making myself a big coffee and I'm having some toast from the bread I made last night. I'm just checking it's okay and baked through. So I'm going to have some toast with some strawberry jam on it. I really like making my own bread, it's really satisfying. I cut myself really thick slices as well. And then on with dog food. I'm just doing some plain biscuits this morning. And there's pennies and putting my hot water in my coffee. We're using long life milk currently because we can't get any fresh in the supermarket. Everything's getting wiped out. It's all getting a bit crazy. And on to Trico's breakfast. Penny and Zebedee are on 2 different forms of biscuit. Penny's on Ava weight management, which is one of the very few ones I can find that is in the fat percentage she can eat. And Zebby's just on Wag grain free. Penny didn't eat anything this morning. I wanted to try her just to see. Generally, even if she's sick, she'll just go in and eat straight away, but she really wasn't interested in her breakfast. She ate a couple of Bonios, so I didn't feel too worried about it, and I just left her to sleep. So I'm just going to sit by the computer and take my meds. Josh has gone back to bed, so I'm just sitting up by myself for a little bit, watch some Netflix, mess about on the computer, and eat my breakfast. This is our little office space. It used to be the spare room. I'm pretty proud of it. I made the desks and everything myself, and I have all my science textbooks next to me. So once I'd done all that, I just got on with some uni work. I've got an assignment coming up, so I need to get that done, and it's pretty easy. I just need to type up all the bumps for it. I've done all the calculations and things. I've got a hot water bottle because my back was already starting to hurt. You can see I'm rolling my shoulders, there's tension there. But I'm just getting on with some uni work. That's mainly what the clip is included, just to prove that I do actually do uni work occasionally. I don't just mess around doing nothing. But now I am drilling some holes in my fruit bush pots because it rained heavily last night and I hadn't done this beforehand, so the pots were all overflowed. This is why you do these things before you plant them. So I'm just drilling some holes in. I'm still in my pyjamas. It was a bit of a lazy day. I wasn't feeling like getting dressed. And the weather wasn't great either, so it just wasn't the greatest of days. So I'm just checking all my seed trays. They're all looking good. Oh, sorry, shaky camera. These are all my carrots. They've kind of erupted through the soil. Everything else is being pretty slow. The first one was broad beans and peas. All the rest are pretty new. Nothing's really coming up yet. I'm kind of concerned that my strawberries and peppers and tomatoes haven't come up yet. I'm slightly worried that they're not going to. But yeah, it's early days. Only March. We've got a long time to go. So I'm just having a feel, see if there's anything that's popping up, or I can see anything. But these are my peppers, well they will be if they ever sprout, and then these are my tomatoes. So yeah, checking on my seedlings. That's my radish. And then my worms. They're all looking really good. Everything's getting composted down. I haven't fed them really in the past few days because I want everything to start being composted down. But everything's breaking up and I'm seeing mould, which is what we want because there needs to be a level of decomposition before they can really do it. I gave them some worm treats and some anti-acid pellet today. And then, with the help of Josh, I did a video. I was putting the sediment in, but it was mainly just a video of our arses. I put the first lot of sediment into Mendel's new vivarium, which I built with my dad. It's going to be bioactive. And then I did nothing. I felt sure I had a nap. So I'm on to dinner. I'm doing a mini roast dinner tonight, which just means I'm using chicken legs instead of like a whole chicken. So I'm just peeling the potatoes for that. I'm going to do roast potatoes, roast parsnip, roast pumpkin, and some sweetheart cabbage. I like to do a roast dinner pretty much every week. Usually I will do it with a whole chicken, but I didn't have one out, so we're just doing it with chicken legs, which is a nice easy way of doing it. Generally we do have roast chicken dinners. Sometimes lamb if I can find something, but lamb's quite expensive even where we are. Oh, dropped a potato. So I'm just chopping up the potatoes into slightly smaller pieces so that I know that they're going to cook, because I'm not going to parboil them. I'm putting them straight in the oven. So chopping up my potatoes. I've kept the peel behind to give to wormery later. So now I'm peeling my parsnip. I'm only using one parsnip for me and Josh. It's a really big one, so that, and then chopping it up, top and tail. And that's not being parboiled either, it's just going to go straight in the pan. It's going to be long and slow that I do it for, so they're going to be fine, they'll be cooked through. And then I had quite a lot of trouble getting into the pumpkin. It was a lot, it fought back a lot more than I thought it would, and I was very conscious that I could mess up and cut my hand open, which I really didn't want to do at that point, but I finally got into it. It had really big thick seeds in it, which I found quite interesting. I wish I'd saved some, see if I could plant them, but hey ho. So I'm just going to put it into quarters, take the seeds out, and I'm going to roast it like that. I really like roasted squash, and I got this at the local health food shop, which I always like when I can find little pumpkins and things like that. So I did de-skin it. I haven't recorded that, but I took the skin off it just for ease. You can leave the skin off, it wouldn't cause anything. So here's my root vegetable selection. I'm going to put some oil on them to help them cook, and then I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Just because I haven't parboiled anything in salted water, I'm going to put some rock salt on it instead, just to make sure it's all nicely seasoned. I do tend to put quite a lot of salt in things, but that's just me. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But we're not a low sodium household, so. And then this is just going to go straight into the oven, and I'm going to get the chicken sorted. Wait, no, I'm going to get my cabbage on. So this is sweetheart cabbage, this is my favourite cabbage, so I'm just going to half it, and we'll have half today. I've taken the two outer leaves off, and I whittled them to penny, so I'm just going to slice it up, and I should have cored it, but I forgot to, so I'm not going to use the base, and I'm going to take a little bit of the root out, and it's just going to go in a pan with a little bit of water and some salt. Generally I'd put a little bit of sesame oil in as well, but I didn't have any, so that's how that's going to cook. And now I am going to do my chicken. So we have 3 chicken legs left. I'm just going to put them on a pan, from the same pack as we had yesterday for the chicken soup. And I'm just going to put oil and salt on to try and make sure they're crispy, and put them in the oven. No particular cook time, just until they're done. It's a new oven, so I'm still trying to work out the temperatures and everything for it. So I'm just putting some oil on. So the oil I use is a mixture of extra virgin olive oil and rapeseed oil, which is a nice combo, and also why it's so bright yellow. And then some salt, and that's going to go in. There's no recording of how the dinner looked like afterwards, but trust me, it was delicious, and I just made some Bisto gravy because I'm quite lazy with gravy. So because Penny was ill this morning, I'm giving her quite a light dinner. She's getting rice, chicken, and some parsnip. Trico's didn't eat all his biscuits today, so I just put the leftover biscuits in his bowl and gave him a new tin. When Penny is sick, I do tend to give her a bit of a lighter dinner. So Abra's having some kale today. He loves his kale, but unfortunately it is quite expensive. And then I'm putting a few basil leaves on top, just to, be classy, garnish the rabbit's food. Though Penny's getting a special dinner because of her being sick, Zebby's just getting his normal stuff, which I am going to bulk up tonight because Penny is encouraging him to pretty much eat whatever I put in front of him. So tonight I'm going to be bulking it up. I don't have an egg spare because I want to make some chocolate bread later, which requires 2 eggs. So I am going to instead not add an egg, and I'm going to be adding some biscuits, same ones as he gets in the morning, and I'm going to add some tin pumpkin, and that will do for today. So there's his drink tablet. He gets one morning and evening. You probably picked that up by now. It does tend to help, but he is really stiff. He's very, very old. And then some of his biscuits, and just mix that all in. I really do have to mix up his dinner because then otherwise he'll pick and choose what he wants. And some tin pumpkin. So I only do like 100 grams of tin pumpkin. Not a massive amount. I don't want to add enough to put him off with the taste, but just to bulk up his dinner. He has the ability to lose weight overnight, and he has been looking a little bit on the skinny side, so we'll keep bulking up his dinners as much as I can. Right, for Penny, I've just chopped up those 2 outer cabbage leaves, and I'm just breaking them up a little bit. She's still getting something raw, even though she was ill, and then she's getting the boiled parsnip and the cube chicken breast that I did for her off screen. So everything's cooked, everything's nice and gentle. She has been seeming hungry, and then just cooked white rice. I would generally use brown rice, but I don't have any. But Anna, especially as she was sick, I want her to have white rice so it's nice and digestible. So I give that a nice mix up. And as you can see, she went straight into her dinner, no problem, so I have absolutely no worries about her. She was probably because of all the car journeys. So there's Trico's dinner, there's Abra's, and Abra giving you a snuffle, he liked it very much. Then after dinner, when everyone had gone to bed, I was on the phone with my mum, and I made some chocolate bread. So it's some warmed milk, which I've just warmed up in the microwave, and some olive oil. I found it quite weird they had olive oil in it, but I guess not a problem. It was tasty. Beaten egg, vanilla extract, which I have like this paste, salt, quite a lot of salt. I think I probably would reduce the salt and increase the sugar next time. Obviously sugar, you're at a different angle because you were sitting on my sugar bowl, so I had to pick you up. Lots of cocoa powder, it smelled amazing, and I definitely am going to need to get more cocoa powder before I make this again. It took over half the pot. And then strong white bread flour and yeast. I found the strong white bread flour I bought is quite dark, but I'll see you next day for the day 6. Bye!